Hi, besties. You've found your community bestie to share thoughts and opinions, recap the shows we love.
Having too much fun.
Bravo should be fun. And have piping hot gossip sessions about the celebrities and Bravo lebs we love, hate, and love to hate. He went on a podcast claiming he had a threesome with 2 women from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Immediately, I was like, I wonder if it's Brandy and Carlton.
I'm Caitlin Marshall, your pop culture and Bravo bestie. Allegedly allegations. And if you enjoy fun conversation between friends, listening to your bestie rant about shows we can't get enough of, plus enjoy a little bit of, well, ridiculousness.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. There's a spider that is coming down. Hold on.
It's like the Blair Witch Project.
Oh my God. Has anybody seen my ring?
Oh my God.
I don't want to ruin the party or anything.
Have you seen my ring? Oh my God. Can you look on the floor for my ring? God, someone's gonna kill me.
Don't mess with me because I will come.
What? Oh.
Feel free to leave that in for whatever entertainment purposes.
You're in the right place. So thanks for joining me on Besties by Bravo. Hi, besties. Thank you for joining me today. It is Wednesday, March 19th, and we are covering The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, darling. It is season 14, episode 16, Sutton on Trial at Sea. What an episode. A frustrating episode, but what an episode. Am I right? Y'all, Baby had her first national, we'll call it news, gossip. Site pick her content up Monday. Nearly fell over. I have very adamantly been staying out of talking, speaking, sharing my opinions on this whole "it ends with us" lawsuit for many reasons. One being, I'm not an attorney. Y'all know this, besties. No one needs me to break down this lawsuit and try and interpret what is being said. Did I enjoy reading the claims because it read like a novel? Yes. I also am someone who is a firm believer in We Believe Women. And when this all first came out, I was like, oh my God, I feel terrible for Blake. This is horrible. And then the evidence was stacking up against her claims. And it has been hard for me in having to question, I guess, a woman when I think we need to believe all women. And that's been something I've been wrestling with. And, you know, I just, it's hard for me. And I've wanted to stay out of fully saying, look, this is who I'm on, this person's side or not. I did go on Giorgio's podcast at the very beginning of all of this. It was back in January. And I gave my opinions there, but a lot of opinions have morphed and changed and evolved. And it's not that I'm just afraid to give it. It's the intensity with which people are going with these lawsuits, I should say. And there are plenty of other fantastic content creators covering it. I did, however, come upon information that Blake Lively had claimed when she was 3 years old, her mother put her in the first grade. I was like, what? Huh? Come again? Y'all know I have a 3-year-old. And I was like, there is not a single 3-year-old I have met in my lifetime who could pass for 6 years old, no matter how tall, anything advanced they are. And I just made a little video about it and Daily Mail picked it up. Listen, if it were Blake Lively, if it were, I don't know, Kristen Stewart, no one's really gossiping about her. If it were anyone, I would have been like, what? Come on. And I would have had to talk about it because I find these type of things interesting. And so please know I am not trying to get involved in this lawsuit. I don't like it, but that's what I get for being a nosy, curious little person here. Oh, well. Just know, again, I'm not involved in Team Anyone at the moment. Some of you may get mad at me about that. I feel like everyone's getting mad at what anyone says on the internet about that lawsuit, and that's part of why I'm like, I'm too exhausted of people being mad about so many things right now. Okay. Anyway, y'all aren't here to hear about that. You're here for Beverly Hills, darling. Okay. We start out with Kathy and Kyle getting ready for dinner, and Kathy was showing Kyle that she puts a little bit of her blush on her lips. Now, this is something that I have been known to do when I couldn't find a lip color near me that I wanted, but I do it with a cream blush because I figure if it's like a natural blush tone for you, then it looks good on your lips. I don't know how to pronounce the name of the blush that I use. It's at Sephora. I think, how do you spell it? Saie? Something like that. If you know what I'm talking about. And it is a little drying to do that. So make sure you moisturize, babes. And wow, the difference between Kyle getting ready and Erika and Dorit, where they're doing their social media, they're doing their glam, they're doing their whole thing. And Dorit, how are you affording to fly this glam out there? Interesting. But you notice who doesn't have glam with them, who, I mean, without, I guess I say this without shade, Kyle and Kathy don't have glam with them, and they have more money. So, just saying. Now, everyone goes over to Beau's, Erika, and Dorit's villa, and Kyle and Garcelle are wearing the same dress. Kyle actually said in the after show that it was Alexia's dress that she had borrowed. And this is the thing, it's happened to Kyle twice now. And I'm surprised that something like this has not happened more often on these shows. But no, only to Kyle. And I found it hilarious how Garcelle said in her confessional that she had previously shaded Kyle's style and now she's having to eat her words because she's wearing the exact same thing Kyle is. They go to dinner. Again, obviously, it's a white theme. And they're ordering their food. Kyle won't get mashed potatoes because of the thirst trap photos she wants to take, but Sutton is going to eat her mashed potatoes, and I am down with that. I love a mashed potato, friends. Bose brings up the fact that her suite has an outdoor shower and how she did offer it up to the girls in her villa if they wanted to rinse their sins away outdoors. But Dorit was not about it because she admits she doesn't even like being naked in front of my husband. So Bose is very taken aback by this. And in confessional, she says that she better be able to get naked in front of her partner physically and emotionally. Can you live in the same house as them, Bose? Come on, this man needs to move to you. You've got a daughter who's in school. Your whole life's there. I think this man needs to move to you so you can be naked in every way you would like 24/7, just not in front of your daughter, obviously. Anyway, okay. Jennifer's story about full frontal nudity, friends. So she did a scene on Broadway when she was in the Women back in 2001, and her British boyfriend had asked her if she was going to be actually naked on stage, and she lied and told him, no, I'm going to be covered in bubbles. So he comes to the show, and he thought she just had this full-blown wardrobe malfunction when the bubbles slid off after she stood up. And when he told her backstage, she realized he'd never seen her walking around or just standing up, a la, free, naked. And because even though they had a great little sex life, she would go lay down on the bed naked and position herself in the most flattering way, just tuck, pinch, all of that. And then just be like, I'm ready. And she admits in confessional, she'd wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. to put on makeup, brush her teeth, so that when her boyfriend would wake up and see her, he'd just think, gosh, Jennifer is just so beautiful. Y'all, this is so 1950s housewife coded. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Back in my day, if any man at any point staying the night together, I am washing off all of my makeup before bed because you need to be able to see accept and love the full range of ugly I bring in the morning. If you can't handle it, sir, you don't deserve me at my catfishing best. That's for sure. Dorit is now going to start up with Sutton here at dinner because we can't just sit and chill for a minute now, can we? She goes,
In all seriousness, Sutton, I've thought about it a lot, and I feel in the last few months I have felt you have been in particular very mean-spirited to me. I've wanted to overcome and get back to a good place, but that wasn't on the table.
oh, Dorit, my God, we're not even like 24 hours in. Give me a break. And Sutton just goes, I think we've all had times we've failed each other, so we're not just going to put this just on me. Dorit brings up that 48 hours after the sisterhood intention and ribbon ceremony, Sutton threw it all out the window, that whole sisterhood intention. Dorit says that a lot of that whole ceremony was about, yes, they'll have arguments, but they need to attempt to talk it out, and that
Any attempt to converse or have a conversation you rejected. Rather than trying to work it out, you wanted to go lower.
Jennifer and Kyle stand up for Sutton, saying she meant it when she said she wanted to have a sisterhood, but Erika chimes in to stand up for Dorit, commenting that she thinks Sutton means what she says every time and that it gets confusing with how it seems very sincere and earnest, and that sometimes when it turns, Sutton starts interrupting Erika, who asks her to just let her finish speaking, but Sutton is already turning into that cornered little cat and is not having it. She's asking if she needs to put her hand on a Bible to prove to them she meant the sisterhood intention. That is such a Southern thing to say. I will put my hand on a Bible. You don't really hear that much somewhere like New York or, East Coast. It's like, I swear on my kids. Okay. What do you want me to do? I swear on my mother. I swear on my kids. That's East Coast. I feel like you go more West Coast. I don't know. Maybe it's, I swear on my entire chakra and being, my entire soul. I mean this with the utmost of intention. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at my own jokes if that even could count as a joke, but it's something I just realized I find it funny. Anyway, now, Sutton says that she isn't going to let them beat her over the head with a stick again. And Kathy and Erika both are trying to tell Sutton, look, we're just trying to have a discussion. That's all that's happening here, okay? But Dorit says that Sutton can't make herself a victim every time. And Sutton tells her she's not going to tell her what she can and cannot do. Dorit says that every time Sutton needs to take accountability, she makes herself a victim. I mean, she's not totally wrong. Whenever Sutton is cornered and confronted with something, she truly is a little kitty cat that's in that little crevice over there who raises those hackles, and she's hissing and she's bearing those little fangs and her ears are back and she swipes with those sharp little claws. That's Sutton. But it's like, I don't know, a Southern hiss, like, hey-iss. What's wrong with me today? Dorit then goes,
I'm an adult. I take accountability when I make a mistake.
Which causes Sutton to give her a hairy little kitty cat side eye. In confessional, Garcelle says, as Jennifer Tilly would say, huh, huh, huh. Dorit has taken accountability for 2 minutes. Like, come on. And now all of a sudden, she's the accountability guru. We had a lot of great confessionals from Garcelle this episode, and I liked that. Dorit says that there's been no point in the last few months where Sutton has wanted to rectify any of their mishaps. Sutton says she's been thinking about this long and hard, and that she said something at the Caviar Caspia party that didn't feel like herself at all. Obviously, the wallet comment. Maybe you need to pick on somebody whose wallet fits. She apologizes, saying, again, she sincerely apologizes, and that it was hurtful, with everyone else chiming in that it was beneath Sutton to say that to Dorit. But, y'all, it's Dorit Kemsley. She's not going to take it. And also, Dorit says to Sutton that if she had
At any point said you were sorry. Since then,
Sutton tells her, I am apologizing right now. But Dorit's like, you're
being passive aggressive.
Dorit is shutting it down enough so quickly to the point that even Bose tells her that Sutton is apologizing, but you're not receiving it. In confessional, Sutton says, hello, Dorit. If you would stop talking, you would realize I am apologizing for calling you brokey, and then maybe we could move on past this. Sutton apologizes again, saying she's very sorry for what she said and is trying again to say that it was hurtful and she should not have said that. Even Garcelle chimes in with an agreed. But Dorit goes,
we've moved on to other things.
Thank you, Bose, because it's like just what's the name of that snake? Ouroboros? Is that the name of it? Gosh, anytime I try and sound cultured and well and intelligent, I screw it up. Anyway, it's the snake eating itself over and over. These two, Sutton, Dorit, it's not just one, it's both you. You're both the problem. Okay. What was that voice? It was a Southern mother. But Bose says to Dorit, you're not even accepting the apology. So Dorit goes,
I said thank you and I appreciate it.
Bulging her eyes out like, biatch, you are supposed to be on my side no matter what, even when I'm wrong. In confessional, Erika says that Dorit isn't going to think that Sutton apologizing is genuine at this point and that Sutton does, well, a lot of this shit. Essentially apologizing to them and they accept it in the group and they don't know what was true at that point.
The low blow or the apology?
Bose is trying to help smooth things over because she actually asks Dorit if there's anything she could possibly apologize for to Sutton. Dorit sort of apologizes in a Dorit way about the alcohol comment to Sutton at her own 4th of July party and then says that if Sutton didn't call her a bitch, she would have apologized immediately. I mean, Dorit, do you notice, and this is both you and Sutton are being awful. Let's be real. Sutton's only being slightly more awful. This, But that being said, at least Sutton simply owned all of her apology. She didn't give a this, okay, yes, I'm sorry, and this X, Y, and Z is the reason why. It didn't matter. It was an apology. Dorit, however, nope. That's the best you're going to get, Sutton. Sorry. But Bose is like, okay, this is a good start. And Kathy's like, look, we're here for 4 days, honey. Rome was not built in a day. And this is the biggest coliseum of bullshit I've ever seen between Sutton and Dorit. So Bose is like, okay, I agree. I'm hoping that bricks have at least been laid down. Something, a little cement, anything. But no, again, Rome, my friends, was not built in a day. In the spirit of foundations being built, Kyle brings up Bose coming over to her house the other day, saying that she really appreciates Bose doing that in the text that she sent her. Bose tells her that she had decided that anything she can do to help Kyle, she's going to do. Bose says God answered her prayer and that a few days later she went to Soho House and Mauricio was there directly across from her on a double date with his girl. And it's a little bit of side conversation with the woman. No, the girl. Okay. Garcelle says in confessional that Mauricio being in Greece and Europe, dinner, all these things with this girl, it's not just a girl or some girl. It seems like it's his girl. Bose ended up leaving a full report in a voice note for Kyle. And I love Bose for this. Bose is me on every level, and I am Bose. I love her. She and I are kindred spirits because this is absolutely what I would do. And it's interesting to me how everyone else was saying they don't know that they would have told Kyle. But what would have happened is Bose would have ended up having to say to Dorit, oh yeah, I saw Mauricio at Soho House with this woman. Can you believe it? And then it would have become a whole thing with Bose against Kyle and Kyle against Bose for not telling her. And then it would have been a whole other thing that it didn't need to be. I think Bose did the right thing within the world of filming this show. Period. End of statement. So some of this voice note Again, Bose and Ms. Caitlin Marshall are the same person here because Bose plays it into some of it in her confessional. And she's like, okay, Kyle, so she is definitely not cute, this girl. And she's telling her in this voice note, the entire time I was there, I was just dreaming up scenarios where I can just push him into the water. Let me know what you want me to do because I will run up on a man. I love her so much. You don't even understand, you guys. Like, if I didn't love Bose before this, I am truly effing obsessed with her. Y'all know I am a Looney Tune and I am a Looney Tune friend. I will have your back. This, yes, exactly what Kathy said. That's a girlfriend. And I am also the friend that if you saw, even if we're separated, if we're divorced, if we're anything, I want a full report. And that's exactly what I want to hear on that full report. It's everything. I can't get over it, you guys. I can't explain how this endeared me to Bose times 1,000 even more. Okay. Kathy says at the table, that's a girlfriend. Garcelle brings up that they all have Kyle's back and they want to be there for her. But what's confusing to her is that she feels they all have to tiptoe around Morgan. And Kyle just rolls her eyes and is like, are you kidding me? We do get the tattoo parlor flashbacks. And Garcelle says they don't know what the situation is. Quote, if you're being supported in that way and therefore we can back off. I'm not sure I understood what she meant by that. Is she saying she, doesn't know if Kyle is being supported in a romantic way and that they can back off? Like, as in, you're being supported in a romantic way at the same time that Mauricio is publicly showing that he is doing something like that with another woman? Or does she just mean supported as a friend in that way? I'm just confused by Garcelle's verbiage here, I guess. And y'all know I like to analyze every little thing, and it confused me, which frustrates me when I get confused. Anywho, in confessional, Erika says,
Garcelle wants information on Kyle's private life, yet we know nothing about Garcelle's private life. I don't know who is Garcelle sleeping with. I know she had a roster back in the 90s. It was good. Maybe she peaked.
ooh, jeez, the shade. Rude, Erika Jane. Golly. Kyle says that there is no situation with Morgan, and she knows they saw the photo of her at the concert and that she had an appearance in the area for 6 months where Morgan was playing. And Kyle, how long did you know Morgan's tour would be stopping at said location? Was it 6 months or 7 months? Curious. Kyle then says that just going to the gas station with Morgan brings attention and paparazzi, and there's nothing she can do about that part of her life. Now, a few of these women are like, okay, Kyle, we see you. Because first, it's Jennifer saying in her confessional that she thinks Kyle's been in Hollywood long enough to know how to tease the paparazzi. Garcelle and Dorit all chime in. Okay. Garcelle says Julia Roberts can go out in public without her photo being taken, but Kyle Richards can't. Now, listen, I don't disagree with that one, but Julia Roberts' personal life isn't exactly something that is currently being talked about in all the gossip, rags, and social media. And of interest, I guess. At the same time, I'm pretty sure I know which gas station the paparazzi did catch a photo of Kyle and Morgan at. I could be wrong. Could be very wrong. I mean, most gas stations tend to look alike, so I could be wrong. But if it's the one I do think it is, it's off of Sunset Boulevard. And I believe it's been a while, Coldwater Canyon in the Mulholland area. So that would be one of the most attention-grabbing gas stations they could stop at. Short of stopping near Hollywood and Highland, I don't know how much more right in there they could get. Kyle tells them that at the moment she has nothing to share, but that maybe someday she'll have a good story for them. And Sutton is literally looking at Kyle with heart eyes. Oh, blank, 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 blank. And she looks at her and says, I hope you do. I hope you have a great story to tell. Now, Garcelle is very annoyed. She says in her confessional that it's annoying that Sutton has this infatuation with Kyle. Clearly, this came from Kyle standing up for Sutton just a little teensy bit against Dorit. And Garcelle says that when her infatuation, as in Sutton's infatuation with Kyle, begins to affect her relationship with Sutton, that's when she has an issue. Adding that she, quote, needed her tonight, but she's so blinded by Kyle's light that she didn't even have my back. So I look like the bad guy. And that's not okay. It's not okay. So let's go ahead and just state the blatantly obvious, glaring, flashing, blinking in our eyes. Garcelle and Sutton had a conversation about the Kyle Morgan thing and agreed they'd talk about it in front of the group. This was off camera. Clearly, they devised a plan and had this agreement that Sutton went back on as soon as Kyle showed any type of loyalty to her. So, okay. Now we're all back at the villa. God, Kathy has left her quote unquote brand manager, her assistant, on hold while she does her entire skincare and nighttime medicinal routine. Was that Sudafed and Robitussin? Just drank that straight out of the bottle. Straight shooter, that Robitussin. Oh, sorry. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Y'all, that is something I cannot take cold medicine. Y'all, if I am sick and I am taking liquid cold medicine or any cold medicine of any kind, just know I am so miserably on my deathbed that I will do anything, and you need to worry about me because the way that stuff makes me feel a million times worse the next day. Oh my God. Like, I may as well have just walked in front of a bus because that's what that stuff does to me. I can't even take Benadryl. Like,
Just a big old baby.
Dorit, Erika, and Bose all sit to chat with Erika taking her clip-in extensions out, and Bose is just shocked because she says this is only the second time in her life she's seen white women just tear out their extensions. Between Kathy just like jittering, get him out, I'm having a hot flash. This realism party. I mean, it's a real feeling of having, like, do y'all know I had the beaded hair extensions, individual ones in my hair from the time I was 17 until I was like almost 25. And the way I will actually have nightmares about having extensions again. Do I love how extensions look? Absolutely. I love it so much with all of my heart. Do I have a loathe for how they feel? Absolutely. I loathe it with all of my heart. So I empathize big time. Dorit is going to stay on track, wink, wink, with talking and cannot be derailed from hearing her own voice. But Erika's still taking clumps of hair out, and Bose can barely focus with the wad of literal like shaved Barbie dolls sitting on the coffee table. Dorit is saying something about the sisterhood intention and how it was so hypocritical of Sutton that only 48 hours later, Sutton went back on it. And also, holy shit, how many clip-ins did we need for a chignon updo, Erika Jane? Mikey, call Vanities, call someone. We could use a few less clip-ins for a chignon. Bose says that yes, she saw the hypocrisy after that intention was set way back then, but points out that Sutton apologized to her and that Dorit then immediately railroaded her. Dorit in confessional is saying that Bose wants to see the best in people, and that's one of the things I love about her. Unfortunately, I have enough experience to realize that Sutton isn't actually sorry about the wallet comment, but rather she believes that Sutton is worried about the perception from the other women in the group and is quite literally just trying to save face. Dorit ends up saying to Bose, "You do realize that I've been sitting for 3 weeks with the shit that she slung at me." And Bose, God bless, girl, you're finally seeing how stubborn Dorit is when she's in the mood to hear herself talk. And my God, that woman Dorit really does love the sound of her vocal cords when they reverberate through her skull and come out of her mouth. Bose says that acknowledging the apology is important, and Dorit's like, "I did." But Bose is like, "No, babe, you didn't." In confessional, Bose is realizing that Dorit has a difficult time both giving and receiving apologies. Yeah, now we're starting to see why this group gets frustrated with Dorit. Bose asks Dorit what she wants Sutton to do, and Erika helps finish Dorit's sentence for her that she needs to see action. It needs to be about more than just words in order to move forward. And Bose asks Dorit, but you do realize that is not a solution. That's just being like, oh, yeah, you know what? I'll just put a bit that on the back burner until later. It doesn't actually solve it. And Dorit just goes,
Maybe there isn't a solution.
all right, well, you know. Now it's Jennifer, Sutton, and Garcelle. Jennifer asks Sutton how she feels because it seems that she and Dorit had made some baby step progress together at dinner, and Sutton says that she is not apologizing to Dorit again. I'd done it once, I'm not doing it again. And Garcelle's like, yeah, you don't need to do that again. Then Sutton says she appreciated that Kyle did step up for her. I mean, she barely did. She just was saying, well, no, Sutton's intentions were for sisterhood. Okay. We see in the flashback that Kyle tells Dorit she does have to understand that the alcohol comment to Sutton is more sensitive with her because of the last year. Again, just a light backing up there. But Sutton, Jesus Christ, you're scaring me here because she says in confessional, Kyle stepping up for me is like, see, I knew we were friends. I knew it. And now everybody does too. Oh, Sutton, that's a lot to unpack here. It's like you're almost seeking this love from Kyle, like the way you've been seeking love from your mother. Kyle's not your mother. Kyle should just be your friend, but Kyle is never going to be the friend who has your back the way Garcelle does. Do you see this? Garcelle has had your back every step of the way, and you've even admitted that. And then when it was your turn to just support her a little bit, no, those big ol', flashing zoom in and zoom out hard eyes for Kyle were all you could see. Just the hearts. Because I heart Kyle and she's my friend. Don't you all see it? She loves me. She kind of stood up for me in a way once. She loves me. We're friends. Best friend. Garcelle rightfully still has a hook in her craw about Sutton not supporting her stealthy little jump in on Kyle at dinner and brings up Kyle saying that if there's anything to tell you, I will tell you, asking if they should and have to just leave it alone at that. I mean, let's be honest, friends. Unfortunately, yeah, you kind of do. When someone sets a boundary, there's not much you can ethically do at that point. Sutton says that she does
Think it's unfair to just say, we want to know everything right now and you've got to tell us.
Garcelle makes a great point here, which is, Sutton, that's exactly what you were doing last year. Sutton's now given Garcelle her little hairy eyeball, side eye. And we get all the flashbacks where Sutton was going in as hard as she could with Kyle telling her to be honest. And Garcelle says, and now all of a sudden you're not doing it. I think when it comes to Kyle, you have a blindfold on. Sutton denies that. And Garcelle says, look, that's how I feel. Sutton says last year she asked a lot of questions because her life changes had seemed so sudden and dramatic, and that she's now talked to Kyle as a friend, friend to friend, and it's different now. Then Garcelle asks what she wants her to say. Then Sutton asks Garcelle what she wants her to say. What Garcelle wants you to say is, well, an admittance that you two clearly had a game plan to put Kyle in the hot seat on Morgan at dinner, and that you backed out because Kyle said just a few little things in your defense, barely. Garcelle is done at this point and starts walking off to go to bed, and Sutton has blinders on when it comes to Kyle. Sutton adds that Garcelle did the exact same thing she did last year. She and Sutton both were going in. Okay, yeah, but Garcelle is not backing off from it in the same way that you are now. Garcelle's still being Garcelle, and she's not kissing Kyle's ass out of nowhere. Garcelle just wants Sutton to see that you're just over here protecting Kyle at this point. which Sutton denies that and is just saying that it's Kyle's life and that she's not going to babysit a grown woman. You mean you're not going to babysit Kyle? Okay. And Sutton, did you even notice Garcelle like hurt herself as she was getting up and walking off? No. But at this point, Garcelle's just like, cool, beautiful, I'm done. Got it. Good night. In confessional, Garcelle brings up that she and Sutton have talked about Kyle and Morgan numerous times. And clearly it's off camera, y'all, because this flashback didn't really give us enough as proof, I should say. The thing is, too, that in the flashback, it's just Sutton saying that they should approach Kyle from the standpoint of, oh, we saw you had a great weekend. What'd you do? Kind of thing. And Garcelle did very much come in with the hammer a bit and got heavier in the paint, was saying that they have to tiptoe around Morgan as a subject. But I'm 99.9% certain that those two had a strategic off-camera conversation about getting Kyle in that hot seat at dinner. And it's so glaringly obvious that they did that Sutton will definitely have to answer for that, in my opinion, at the reunion. That's what I'm thinking. Garcelle continues by saying that all of a sudden she's taken a different stance. I've had Sutton's back so many times but tonight she just left me out to dry. And I'm like, okay, I see you. And Garcelle very gently storms off to bed. You know, I kind of want to point something out. Maybe Garcelle is tired of being Sutton's mouthpiece because Sutton needs to be fighting her own battles. You start it, you better finish it. Okay. Just saying. The next morning, Jennifer Tilly is trying to get some earrings in, and every girl with pierced ears has had this struggle. Oh my God. And she's fully struggling, saying,
I know there's a hole in there somewhere.
and thank you for going ahead and taking the golden opportunity, Jennifer Tilly. She just goes, that's what he said. I don't know. Jennifer Tilly has a very unique voice. I don't know that I could nail that one. Erika and Bose are trying to talk and the fire alarm goes off, and we almost get kind of the same look that Erika gave in Amsterdam when that bicyclist nearly ran her over in her whole latex getup. But Sutton goes and wakes up Garcelle, and they go have breakfast out on the balcony. And Garcelle says that she was frustrated with Sutton last night and admits, look, I stormed off. And Sutton's saying that it's their first fight, but Garcelle says, here, it's our first fight here, with Sutton thinking it's their first fight ever, which wouldn't surprise me that Sutton would be oblivious to the fact that they probably have had full-on disagreements, but she just wasn't paying close enough attention and hearing Garcelle enough in those moments to take it in. But Garcelle says again that she feels they're tiptoeing around the Morgan Wade subject, and that when she brought it up at the table that Sutton went into full-on protect Kyle mode, that she gets it because Sutton's now in a good place with Kyle, and that, look, she is too, but that she was frustrated by Sutton's flipping over and flopping for Kyle. Garcelle then admits she just wanted some backup, and Sutton says she's very frustrated with Kyle as well on the Morgan subject, which is why she's just at the point that she's moving on from it. In confessional, Garcelle says she wanted to have a closer relationship with Kyle this year. And at the same time, when Kyle is seen anywhere and everywhere with Morgan, they're not allowed to talk about it. And we cut to the flashback of Kyle refusing to even say Morgan's name in episode 1 at that surrealism party. And let me just say, Kyle, piece of advice. Really, though? What was the point of making Morgan a you-know-who, she who shall not be named, instead of just saying Morgan? Because I think that made it worse. It got all of us going, why aren't you just saying her name? We know. No one's asking you to speak for Morgan. That would be ridiculous because Morgan is not going to appear on camera this season, clearly. But why wouldn't you just say her damn name? My God. Garcelle wonders how you can have that close of a friendship when there's someone so major in Kyle's life that they're all not allowed to speak about. Sutton says that basically when someone sets a boundary, like I was saying, on what they will and won't talk about, you just kind of have to respect it and move on. And Garcelle says, yeah, and that's what I'm going to do. And then she immediately follows up with, so Bose said she was at a restaurant, saw Mo there with a girl, and called Kyle and told her. Listen, I love that Garcelle has her laser focus on something. It's definitely on Kyle. She is not going to let go of dangling Kyle's little feet over the fire, honey. Sutton admits that that is not the first time she's heard about Mo being out with the girl somewhere, and that it's what happens when you're both separated and single, and that Kyle needs to see that Mauricio is really dating, and that Kyle herself is very much single now. That whole ship has sailed, which is going to segue us right into getting on a boat, honey. We're going on a boat. The ladies are all taking their social media content photos, with Jennifer showing Sutton the topless thirst trap photo she took in the pool. Is there anything else we can use for thirst trap? I feel like it's out of place here. But okay, until I can figure it out, we're going to keep calling it that because they keep calling it that. Now Garcelle and Jennifer are trying to get Sutton to show them her thirst trap photo face. And Sutton is doing it, but it's giving, has anyone seen my glasses? Because I think I see an attractive man way over there, but I'm not so sure. So it's a hint of confusion with eyesight problems, but some question that there's an attractive man a long distance away with maybe like a dash, little sprinkle of, I may possibly be about to sneeze. We go out to the yacht in this full group of women dressed in designer skimpy cover-ups, plus Kathy Hilton wearing a Little House on the Prairie dress. It was cute. I'm not making fun of it. Kyle admits in her confessional she's feeling a little awkward around Garcelle today, and we also do find out it's a catamaran, not a yacht. So excuse me. Sutton and Erika are having a little chit-chat on the way to the boat, and Erika asks Sutton how much she weighs. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but what the fuck? And Sutton only weighs 110 pounds while Erika is 128. Fantastic. Good for you, bitches. I mean, this is why my friends, especially you ladies, don't pay attention to a scale. And I'm not just trying to be like, yeah, body acceptance, while we are constantly being inundated with Mounjaro, with Ozempic, semaglutide. Come on. Yes, everyone is shrinking, but your weight as a female fluctuates so much. I have lost weight significantly in the new year. I've gone down a full size in my clothes. I'm about a size 4 now. And I weigh almost 20 pounds more than Erika, at least. Depends on the day. And that's my point. Like, honey, again, only 5'7". And it's so stupid when I take the bait and weigh myself, and it's literally different numbers that vary from like 5 to 8, sometimes even 10 pounds difference. And wait a few days and it's different. So it drives me nuts. And I also I wish they just hadn't even shown it, to be completely honest, because I don't love it. It's probably triggering to people who struggle with body image and eating disorders. But when it comes down to women and our weight, I fully believe that we cannot trust a scale, period. But how do you, okay, you can measure, but that's also, my favorite thing, choose a brand of jeans. Okay, choose that brand. Try or have a pair of jeans set aside at home. Try it on every 2 weeks and see how you're feeling. Not around your Aunt Flo, though, because she is a real bitch and she will make you think you weigh a lot more or gained weight. So anyway, we're all on the boat and it's about to be Sutton's very own personal boat ride from hell. Everyone is complimenting Jennifer's earrings and she says they're
Dolce & Gabbana.
but they're Alta Moda, meaning there's only one pair of them and that apparently you can't find them at the boutique. Then she does realize what she said and tells them,
That sounds really obnoxious.
and Bose, again, I just love her. Bose goes, no, that sounds very rich. They all go in to get food and Kathy turns Jennifer into her own personal assistant brand manager, having her hand her a plate, napkin, dressing. Has anyone seen the dressing? I'm not a rabbit. I don't eat my lettuce without dressing. In confessional, Jennifer is asked if she thinks Kathy thinks she's the help on the boat. And she just says,
I'm not sure. And I'm not quite sure if Kathy knows who I am.
Kyle says in her confessional that it does not matter who you are. If you are within earshot of Kathy, she will be asking you to complete little tasks, get things for her. Oscar nominee, doesn't matter. Does not matter. And Sutton says in confessional that she thinks there's clearly a hierarchy happening with Kathy Hilton at the top. Dorit goes to sit at the front of the boat with Kyle and asks her how Kim is doing. Kyle just says she thinks she's doing well and that she's happy and that she also doesn't see Kim a lot. Dorit says she feels like she hasn't seen those three sisters together in a while, and Kyle admits that she's not that close with Kim. And after knowing everything that happened with her having to call the police on Kim, essentially like it sounds like squatting in one of Kyle's homes or something. I just hope Kim's doing better. I really do. Sutton brings up what she said to Dorit, to the other ladies, and her apology from the night before. Whew, friends, this is about to get intense. I did not think no, we're so far into this. Audio, this may end up having to be a 2-part episode. Let's see how we're doing. Sutton tells the women that she really meant it and wants them all to know that she meant it, which I gotta admit here, my friends, that I find it an odd thing to say to them. Why do you have to make sure that they know you meant it? Why aren't you trying to make certain that Dorit knows you meant it? Is it because of Dorit's reaction? Because I may have said all of that a little bit differently if Dorit was not sitting there. I may have rephrased that to, I truly meant my apology to Dorit last night, and I hope she knows that and that it translated what I was feeling from my heart. I'm not sure if it did. If you have any advice, I would like to make things right with her. But Sutton would never say that. She does admit it was a bad thing that she had said, the wallet comment, and it wasn't like her to say things like that, and that she's beat herself up over it. Erika brings up to Sutton that she finds Sutton to be very critical of women when they're going through it, and that Sutton is
maybe not the most compassionate to women that are going through the worst time in their lives, and I felt it with myself.
Bringing up how she did it with her, Kyle, and now that she's doing it with Dorit. And she tells Sutton,
you pose as a friend and then oftentimes work as an enemy.
And says in confessional that she's sick of seeing Sutton's fake sisterhood and fake apologies. And that if Sutton meant her apology, then she wouldn't need to sell it again to all of them the next day. Yeah, Erika has a point. Although I wish she weren't just using Dorit as her way to get back at Sutton when she hasn't fully gotten over the things Sutton said to her when she was going through her worst moments, probably in her life. Can't deny that Erika is not wrong here. Erika then says maybe Sutton can see that she's done this and has an explanation for what Erika has pointed out that Sutton has done to the three women, herself included in that. Truly, did we think Sutton was going to receive any of that in any positive way whatsoever? I don't know that anyone would, but especially not Sutton Strack. Sutton tells Erika that saying that she mistreats women is a huge accusation. Erika says that what Sutton does is that she'll say she wants to help them and feels bad for them and then turn around and she will do something like call Erika a liar and says she's pointing out a pattern that Sutton has. And again, Erika's not wrong. Sutton tells Erika that she's sorry she had questions when the LA Times article came out and that it seems to still really bother Erika. Listen, I think Erika's just triggered because of what she's seeing go down between Dorit and Sutton. But we have to remember how Dorit can be so very insufferable as well at times, just like Sutton can. I think they will never get along and that they are two people that are so much alike that they are just going to be oil and water together, period. I'm not even going to say cats and dogs. It's worse than that. But Sutton says that it's on Erika that it still bothers her the way Sutton treated her during that time where, y'all, we were all questioning Erika. And Erika rightfully had some things to answer for, even though Erika's telling her it's not on her, but on Sutton for what she did. Y'all, it's on both of you. Again, Sutton needs to recognize that Erika may still have some little prickles left in her from that. And Erika needs to either forgive Sutton, and move forward without being triggered by everything with Sutton. But at the same time, I think it's perfectly acceptable to call Sutton out for repeating the same behavior. Very much. Sutton reminds Erika that she's apologized to her already and they moved on, with Erika saying she accepted Sutton's apology, but
You did do it.
Kyle and Dorit finally notice that something is going on at the other end of the boat and decide to go check it out. As Erika is telling Sutton,
Come on. You know you've been hard on Dorit. You know you have.
but Sutton says, Dorit's been hard on me. And Erika tells her,
I know this. You are kicking a dog when they're at their lowest.
Sutton says that she's already apologized to Dorit. She meant it and she's not apologizing again. So she's not going to take being put on trial with judge and jury as a terrible person when I know I'm not. Erika's like, all right, you can feel that way. And Sutton just goes, I know I can feel that way. Thank you for the permission. Whew. In confessional, Sutton says, I just knew that the other shoe was going to drop with Erika at some point. I knew not to trust it. She did this to me before, with that flashback of them making up on that trip to Del Mar where Sutton's scootering her little tiny butt along on a dock. And Sutton goes on that, and then months later, tell the world, oh, I was lying. The reunion flashback is played where Sutton says they made up in Del Mar to Erika, and Erika looked at her and said,
No, that's called playing your ass.
geez. And this is when Erika was at her most volatile, and even her glam was subpar. You know, she was extra pissed that day that her glam wasn't glamming. But Sutton continues her confessional by saying that Erika is not the real friend and that they were good. And then she says, I gave you a pizza party at Chuck E. Cheese. First of all, Sutton, Erika thought you were flying her off somewhere on a private plane, not to Chuck E. Cheese in Century City, but all right. Sutton tells Erika that she's just basically saying Sutton is a terrible person, but Erika's like, I'm not saying that. Sutton points out Erika telling her that she's bad to women who are at their lowest. Then Erika clarifying that she was just saying
In this group.
which Sutton's telling her that you said women, not the women in this group. And Erika's getting annoyed, saying she wasn't talking about the whole
Fucking universe.
but within this group, and for Sutton to not get into the semantics. Sutton is still hung up on Erika saying women and not women in this group. So Erika just goes,
Well, what do you fucking want me to say?
uh-oh, Kyle's now going to stand up for Erika. So Sutton's hard eyes for her, those little hard eye balloons, they're going to pop. It's just Sutton. Kyle is never going to actually stand up for you. She has had your back actually a few times. Let me say that. She has before this trip, but still. Kyle tells Sutton that Erika means the women in this group and that it's obviously what Erika was trying to say. But Sutton's like, no, I didn't take it as obviously, and that I heard women. Erika asks her what she took it as, which Sutton says, women in the world. Now Erika's like, you are being ridiculous. Kyle tells Sutton that Erika is clarifying that she meant the women in this group when she said women. And Garcelle's just sitting back, watching. And she says in confessional, there have been so many times where Kyle has had the opportunity to have Sutton's back, and she doesn't. And she's not doing it today, and Sutton refuses to see it. I see it. I've been seeing it for years. Now, Sutton's track has cracked. Say crack again. Crack. If you know, you know. Sutton breaks, yelling, what do y'all want from me? Seriously, what do y'all fucking want from me? Oh, so proper. Prim and proper there, Sutton. She says she's tired of being blamed for everything and that all they do is tell her what she's doing wrong constantly. Sutton points out to Erika that her case was different than Dorit and Kyle's. And listen, y'all, Erika is having a great season and is clearly in a much better place, but there is a point to be made here. Erika drunk, yelling in Aspen that she didn't care about the victims, of Tom Girardi and how she was benefiting from the money he was stealing as she was walking around with those ridiculous diamond earrings. Look, And this is not me dogging on Erika. This is me just pointing it out. Yes, she's made some great progress, it seems, in therapy and worked on herself and things and all that. That's very important. But if we can't forget Sutton was hard on you, my girl, we can't forget why. Erika just goes,
I know, I'm special, so it's okay. I get it.
in confessional, Sutton's like, Erika does not want to make me into an enemy. What are you in the Southern Country Club Mafia, Sutton? Sutton says she's not going to do it anymore. So Dorit and Erika both ask what Sutton is not going to do anymore. Sutton reminds them that she has apologized many times and that they've mended their relationship and she's so happy with where it's at. And then says, I love you. And Erika's nodding her head and goes,
Thank you.
but apparently Sutton was talking to Kyle, who's sitting next to Erika. No. Oh, God, I can't. Oh. You guys, it just reminds me of when I was at the gym. This was not even 2 months ago. And I was on the Stairmaster, and there were only two in our gym. And a woman was next to me. And I swear to God, the things she was saying, it's funnier to me now than it even was then. She just is saying like something about how it's nice out today. And I was like, yeah. Like I'm trying to work out and read on my Kindle as I'm working out to make this absolute hell of cardio go by faster and pretend that it's not even happening. And she wouldn't stop talking to me. I thought, to me, no, she was on the phone. This went on for a good 8 minutes, which is a very long time. It's already a very long time on those machines, but it feels twice as long when someone is continuously speaking to you, at least so you think. God, I'm an idiot. But so I empathize with Erika on that one. Okay, sorry. That's also something I could very much see happening to Sutton Strack. Just saying. At this point, Sutton is devolving quite a bit here, saying she's not going to take it with them, picking on her, and then goes into saying, yes or no, yes or no. I mean, come on, pick on somebody else. Dorit asks why it's okay for Sutton to pick on someone, and Sutton goes, who am I picking on? And Dorit's like, me. And Sutton is truly at the end of her rope. And she's like, oh, Dorit, yeah, okay, come on. And Dorit's like, if you don't think you have, that's okay. So Sutton goes, you know what? I was henpicked by you. Like it was the picking. This made sense to me. Maybe it's the South thing, being henpicked, like the clunk, 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 clunk. God, it's And then, oh my God, Dorit, what? Dorit goes, and again, you need to actually speak English so I can understand. Really, miss? I speak 7 languages. Why does it have to be English? I thought you understood so many different languages because you're a child of the world. Child of the world. Then Sutton goes, okay, maybe if I speak in an English accent, it'll work better. Oh, God. But Dorit doesn't take the bait. I will have to say. That was a great comeback from Sutton. And it was childish, but it was great. And Dorit just goes, maybe. Okay. All right. Points for both. Sutton says she can only take so much. And Dorit's just like, same. So Sutton's like, good. Sutton tells Dorit that she's apologized for everything, but Dorit's telling her, no, you apologized for caviar Caspia. What you're not understanding. And Sutton's like, that's all I'm going to be apologizing for. Was that really all you needed to apologize for, though, Sutton? Yes, again, Dorit can't be. I can only imagine how much she must drive people crazy sometimes. But also, Dorit hasn't been half as mean to you as you have to her, at least not to your face. So Dorit tells her that it's her. Hey, listen, that's your prerogative, girl. But if you want to know what is upsetting me and what troubles me, and Sutton's just interrupts her like, no, I don't. Then Dorit asks her if she wants to move forward. And Sutton's like, no, I don't. Okay. Hey, your prerogative, babes. In confessional, Dorit says that Sutton's actions have now shown she doesn't want to move forward and that this shows the apology from Sutton wasn't sincere. And also, Dorit, how much motherfucking Chanel do you need to wear to try and prove
We've got money. I'm not poor-reets. I will wear Chanel from head to toe.
it's a choice? I didn't say the look was bad, but it's a choice. Dorit. Big choice. Big choices here. Sutton tells Dorit she's not apologizing again because she has already apologized for what she wants to apologize for. Oh my God, how many times do we have to say the word apology? Apologize, apology, apologized. In confessional, Bose says, this is really surprising to me. I don't know Sutton in this way. She's lashing out. She's angry. I'm seeing a different side that I'm not sure I like. Now, we thought Sutton Strack had cracked. No, Sutton Strack now is going to crack. Say crack again. Crack. She starts yelling,
This is not going to be Sutton on trial at sea.
and Jennifer just goes,
Last week on Crazy Yacht from Hell,
Sutton gets up to leave and scoots right by Garcelle, who has been silent this whole time. And in Garcelle's confessional, she says, normally I would have had something to say. And I don't really like to see this pile up on Sutton, but I'm not going to do that. Because the other night she didn't have my back, and I'm not going to stick out my neck for her when she doesn't always do it for me. She can deal with it. Huh. You know, while I don't like seeing this whole game of strategy when it comes to housewives because they are supposed to be having authentic friendships and strategizing against when you're going to have your friends back or not is not authentic to at least friendships I personally know and have. I also understand where Garcelle is coming from. And, you know, I have to say, I feel like two white women on this show are using the two black women as their mouthpieces and calling them friends. There, I said it. I've debated saying that, but that's what I'm seeing. And I feel that it's very interesting to me that it's almost like it's two women who have both been accused of saying things that were racist or being microaggressive. And isn't it fast? They're not the only ones that have been accused of that on this show or in this world. But isn't it fascinating that it almost sometimes feels like there's a need to prove,
look, I have friends who are black. I have a friend who is black.
you know what I mean? I'm not making accusations here. It's just what I'm observing. Does that make sense? Because I feel like Garcelle and Bose are both being used by Sutton and Dorit. And I think it is time for Garcelle to take a step back and go, you know what, Sutton, baby, you want to start it, you better learn how to finish it. And she shouldn't be relying on Garcelle to take up for her in every single argument. Just saying. Sorry if you're offended by that. And I'm not trying to say anything particularly cruel or make any particularly intense accusations against Dorit and Sutton, because I think that's also something that has to be looked at, inner biases. So, just saying, don't get mad at me.
That's my opinion.
Kyle says in confessional after Sutton has gotten up that Sutton likes to create a whole situation and run off like she's the victim. And in Erika's confessional, she says that she thinks Sutton's triggered because she knows Erika's right. Neither of them are wrong. Kathy goes to check on Sutton and try and calm her down, but Sutton tells her, I just need to be alone for 2 seconds. Kathy says in her confessional, I don't know about these boat rides. They're not working. And then we end on a shot of Sutton, her little tiny we call it booty butt in my house, little booty butt in her cute little swimsuit, back to the camera, putting her face out. I don't know why this was. I shouldn't be laughing, I don't think. Letting her face get the breeze so that the breeze of the ocean will dry her tears up. And she's literally just saying, hate these effing bitches. They are such effing my country, 'tis a bees. She's such a effing bitch. I'm sorry. With her hat just flipped back. Lots of hats getting in the way. Lots of them. Okay. Friends, thank you again for joining me today. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure and hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Besties by Caitlin. If you like to be able to be a part of the chat, join the conversation, comment, let me know what you're thinking about things that are being said and your thoughts on certain portions of the show, the episode. If you're listening on audio, do me a solid, leave a 5-star review. I love, love, love reading the reviews from y'all when you like the show. I even read the bad ones because I am glutton for punishment sometimes. Go follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and again, subscribe to YouTube. It's all the same name at Besties by Caitlin, and Caitlin is spelled Caitlin. Check out the Pop Culture Besties Etsy merch shop. It's all designed by yours truly. And friends, I will see you tomorrow where we will be covering Summer House. And then the day after that, it will be Southern Charm. Okay, besties, enjoy your Wednesday. It is hump day. You're getting to Friday slowly but surely. We're getting there. All right, friends. Bye.